Most people imagine Colorado as the land of freedom, mountains, sunshine, wide-open roads. But when you step back into the early 1900s, the journey across this state looked very different for Black, Mexican, and indigenous travelers. There were towns you could stop in, towns you shouldn't stop in, and towns where staying after dark could put your life at risk. Tonight, we're looking at the train stations, the sundown towns, the folklore, and the ghosts tied to Colorado's forgotten rail line history, and how much the state has changed since then. Colorado's railroad story is often romanticized, but the real version included segregation, exclusion, and danger on lines like the Union Pacific, Denver and Rio Grande Western, and the Burlington route. Black travelers were often put in smoker or second-class cars. Mexican passengers were segregated during beat labor seasons. Dining cars refused service to travelers of color. Hotel depots turned away families who didn't fit the town's expectations. Black men worked luxury cars. They weren't always allowed to ride as passengers. Travel meant constant calculation. Where can I sit? Where can I sleep? Where is it safe? Colorado wasn't immune to racial exclusion. Some towns enforced unwritten, and sometimes written, rules about who could remain after dark. Historians, newspaper archives, and the research of James Loewen document several Colorado towns with confirmed or strongly supported sundown histories. Horace Weld County Black could labor there, but were not allowed to stay. Loveland pushed out Black families and restricted Mexican Americans in certain neighborhoods. Longmont, Mexican laborers were warned not to remain after dark. Littleton, oral histories describe travelers of color being told not to exit trains. Fort Morgan, segregated sugar beet camps and racially restricted public spaces. Sterling, reports of lodging refusals and intimidation after dark. La Junta and Lamar, depots with documented segregation in waiting rooms and dining areas. And one of the clearest artifacts, a sign recorded by civil rights researchers reading, "No Mexicans after night." These weren't isolated incidents. They were patterns. Colorado's old railroad towns hold more than history. They hold stories. And folklore often mirrors the emotional truth of the past. La Junta, the station walker, a faceless figure pacing the old depot platform at night, footsteps echoing where segregated passengers once waited alone. Trinidad, the phantom bell engineers reported hearing a handbell ringing outside the train, the signal porters once used. Folklore says it's a porter who never retired. Sterling, the locked-door hotel guest report knocks at midnight, always on rooms that once refused travelers of color. When they open the door, no one is there. Longmont, the whispering junction voices in Spanish drifting near the abandoned beatyard tracks, as if warning others to stay safe. Pueblo, the man on the platform, a figure in early 1900s clothing who vanishes when approached, leaving the faint smell of cigar smoke. Whether you believe in hauntings or not, folklore preserves truth. People feel the energy of places where safety was once denied. Folklore preserves truth, and these towns still carry echoes of their past. But this is only half the story. Come back for part 2 where we uncover the Green Book,